I invested the time to write this specific book on blockchain because I feel like paradigms have to be described by multiple people, not just by one, in order for us to all grapple with it and really understand what is the opportunity for a paradigm. You know, when we first looked at the internet, we didn't really understand it 40 years ago. It was a couple of dots of servers across the United States of America. It could have ended up just being AOL chat rooms, right? That could have been all the internet ever became. But it was books like these and perspectives like these that really took different angles to start to paint the picture of where we could go that led us to where we are today. And when I think about blockchain and the fact that we're on the ground floor of what I believe to be one of the largest paradigms of our species, I wanted to participate in helping to share my perspective around how this thing could evolve in the future and how it could be shaped. And so that's why it's written in such a way where the stories really bring out not just the history of how we got to where we are today, but where we can go. And it was super enjoyable to do. I think there's only a few good books out there on blockchain right now. So if you're going to read, you should be reading about 6 or 7 to triangulate here, and hopefully mine falls into that category. But to answer the question specifically around why this book and not the other blockchain books, most of the blockchain books get into the what is blockchain, right? How does it work? What's the flux capacitor inside? This is a book more about the so what. Right? What does it mean if this paradigm comes to life? What does the change of trust within our species really mean to how we're going to trust differently in the future? What does consensus look like when it starts to evolve at scale? What does autonomous networks look like when it starts to evolve at scale? So I'm not necessarily focused on the what of blockchain, but the so what of the outcomes in this book. By all means, I think you should read at least 2, right? One about the what and one about the so what. But that's how this book is different. This book was specifically catered for folks that operate large businesses or are building businesses of their own that want to understand this paradigm in such a way where you could take advantage of it. Right? If you're an expert in blockchain, yeah, you may still find value from this book because you may realize that, wow, what I know I could use in a different way. But if you're just setting out to understand the concept and to understand the so what, you're a CEO, you're a business leader, you operate a large P&L, maybe you're a venture capitalist that's looking to make an investment in a blockchain startup company, or you've established a category in that space, you want to understand the so what, you're the type of person that should be reading this book. It's more about those that are trying to understand the opportunity that comes out of the paradigm as opposed to the paradigm itself. I got really interested in blockchain starting with Bitcoin, right? And I think it's important to partition this. Bitcoin is to blockchain what AOL chat was to the internet. It's a first instantiation of it, but not the most interesting. Once I understood the protocol, and I recognized that the protocol actually solves for one of the most delicate things that we do with each other every day. It solves for how we trust. I got really interesting, right? This is not about lowering transaction costs. This is not about increasing transaction speed. This is about trust and how you build businesses and how you restructure society and restructure markets to transact with unfamiliar stakeholders and customers in a very intimate way without having to know them that well. That really got me really interested because now you're thinking about new market structures, you're thinking about new information flows and value flows. It's almost like the Industrial Revolution was a restructuring of the marketplace, right? The internet revolution was a massive restructuring of the marketplace. We just transact completely differently, right? The center of gravity of commerce is now on the edge, not in the center anymore. Blockchain is a massive institutional revolution. Not just we will transact with different people in different ways in different companies. There's going to be new archetypes of companies that are being created that are more trusted. And who doesn't want a more trusted state of commerce?